is gonna work. Hold on. I just want to make sure. Alright. Ooh, it's a little chilly in here. My heat is on, but all right. That's not really that's that's not really what I meant to do. That's not really what I meant to do. Hi, I'm okay. Hey everybody. I've Okay, I just wanted to cut that off because I thought maybe the heat running in the back would be a little too much, but hi Simone. Hi. Hi Juju. Ooh. I just wanted to do a live stream. I'm not gonna front with y'all. I have not been on the platform very much, clearly. Hi Sandy. But right now I don't have Wi-Fi, so I'm using my cell phone data, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been doing any live streams. So I was like, I ain't got no Wi-Fi, and I wasn't sure it would be working right. And also, I don't have Hulu, so it's really hard to watch General Hospital without Hulu or live TV or a DVR. So I just see the clips on the page. So I've been in and out, peeping it and watching it, of course. Um, how many months are you now? I am not pregnant anymore. So it happened, what, 3 weeks ago? So I'm not pregnant anymore. Hey. Yeah, a lot's happened since I've been on here, and I usually I'm gonna see the comments after a while, but when they're spilling up, they distract me. So, but the comments is still on, and I'll go, of course, and read them. But I just wanted to come on here because I was feeling chatty, and it's been a very long time since I've been chatty. A lot of life has happened. I like what Rose said, I was pregnant and I am not. At 15 weeks, I decided to not have the baby. And that's the truth on that. And I have my reasons. So that has definitely changed. I tell you what, first of all, I had no idea that I would ever get pregnant in my life without just by myself. That's no excuse for not protecting yourself. You hear stuff all the time growing up, like it don't matter. Every time you have sex, you can get pregnant. So it's just I was just that shocked me. That shocked me. So yeah, of course I think about that every day, but like I said, I have my reasons. It's just there's something I thought I'd be confronted with. I never thought I'd be confronted with something like that. Uh, what else has changed? I don't know. The pregnancy took a lot out of me. And I just was feeling terrible, you know, like you do. And then I still had to work. So I just been down, just trying to. I guess I had a fear because I'm thinking it's just me in this house, it's just me, making sure that the bills are paid, just your usual stuff. I'm behind on the car note, and I'm trying to make sure that I stay within a certain amount of days so they don't come by and repossess my car, and then me and Layla go outside in the morning and I can't take her to school because the car done being repossessed. The stuff that we got to do and deal with every day. So, and I'm just panicking because I'm like, look, if this shit falls apart, I can't be homeless with two kids, and that was stressing me out. And I was just like, I was like, I feel like I played with God. Like, I feel like I played with God by sitting there like, nah, I can't get pregnant. You can nut in me. And it was just like, oh shit. Like, and I feel like I played with God on that. I just really do. And, so, I just, I was just, woof, I was out of it, but, I kept pushing everything, but I was just depressed, and I just had such a bad mind about it. And then, I even thought about giving the baby up for adoption. It's just so crazy because it just is. But it was a really long winter, and I say in those 15 weeks, it had a profound effect on me. Just those 15 weeks. You know, I just, and then, I shut the father out. I always seem to do that. Just, but he was there the whole time, just like, I support you with whatever you decide. And um, we was upset with each other for a little bit. And I was just with him a few hours ago. We was just he was playing Dungeons and Dragons with his friends, and I was just sitting in. Earlier tonight I went to an open mic, and then I got to look at the art exhibits that they have there at Street Guide, or Street Light Guild. It's such a great place. And afterwards I went over and, like, they were playing D&D, and then we were just chilling, like just watching random videos after everybody left, and just laughing and stuff. And then, had to go because I'm home. I didn't stay the night or anything like that. Decided just to come home. I have some things to do tomorrow. And, he was going out anyway. So, and I don't know, I was leaving, and he comes and he gives me a hug, and I love it there. I love it there in those hugs. I love it there. And those kisses too. I love those hugs and kisses. But like, after everything, I'm just glad that, we're not in a relationship, or we're in a relationship, or whatever. Just we're still cool after everything. I'm really glad, because then I really feel bad. I know I probably sound crazy because this, but I'm just glad that we're still cool after everything. He always tells me he fucks with me tough. And I fucks with you tough, sir. So work has been, I love having my freedom and deciding, like, when I work and when I don't work, because, like, okay, on Wednesday we went to take, Layla and I went to her school. I dropped her off to the front office because the side door was already closed, but she wasn't late. I've been making sure that I've been getting her to school on time, okay? I had a rough winter. I remember one morning I could not get out of the house. I was so sick. And Layla, she was so sweet. She was like, it's okay. Spit it out. Like I'm sitting there sick as heck, and she's so caring. I appreciate my daughter, and but I there was one morning, and she was dressed, ready to go, and we had time, and I'm trying to put on my pants. I could not get it up above my knees, and I just fell and hit the floor. I fell and hit the floor. And then I just called her dad and I said, "Can, I'm sick. I'm sick." So, but anyway, Wednesday got her in there on time, and I was leaving, and she's like, "Mrs. Strickland, uh, Layla's teachers called out, so class is canceled because pretty much we ain't got a replacement." Like, huh? That kind of threw my day off, and being flexible allows me to be like, "Oh, huh." I mean, there's another option. I do realize her dad said there's always somebody at his house, so if of course I could drop Layla off there, but it's really nice when you don't have to make such a trip like to do everything, so it's like, okay, well, I can't work today, so I'll just work tomorrow, and I just spent the day with Layla, and I could have been upset about it, like, dang, I'm supposed to make this money, like I gotta get this car note caught up, which the car note is current. The car note is current. I've been busting my hump since that thing went late in November. I've been working real hard to get the car note back, back, back. What the heck? Caught up. It's current. I'm so happy. I got some fees, okay, about $40 in fees, but it's caught up, and I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm proud of that shit. Hell yeah, I'm proud of that. But whew, God almost got me, or maybe $60, not 80. Well, I got that current, and what the heck was I? Anyway? So yeah, I'm like, I gotta get this car notes, the electric. I could have been all of that. And let me tell you something. I only had like $26. I only had $26 that day. Lately I've been buying. I've been eating at home, not eating out. I've been saving every penny because every time I make some money, I put it straight on my car note because I'm like, look, I don't even want to play with it. This got to be paid because I'll be damned if I get up and my car ain't out there one day. I'll be damned. So I worked really hard, and the electric, but and I managed to hold on to $26. I didn't know what it would be for, but I was like, I don't want to be completely broke. I was gonna almost put it all in gas. Well, thank goodness I didn't, because as we were, they had to call Layla back. She was looking confused, but she came with me, and I was walking out and said, what would you like to do instead? After explaining it to her, and she said bowling. I was like, all right, well, bowling sounds good to me. Shoot, I'd rather go bowling than go to work. Bowling is work, okay? You got to put force behind that ball. You know what I'm saying? You got to precision it and everything. You know, gotta be paying attention. So, it was $24 to get, shoes and an hour of bowling. So it was great. It was really great. That was something like, you know, about having another child. I guess, I have fear that, I wouldn't be able to provide for both of them. If I had the other one, I wouldn't be able to like provide for both of them. I'm not saying that the father didn't offer to do anything, but I was just thinking like if like again, if it falls, it falls. And it's on me. I know strength of God, but just don't know if I'm, that I'm ready for that. Anyhow, so work with Uber, it's not the same as last year. And so I went to my school because I graduated, and I wanted to be in my field, so that's, I graduated, and I have been going to the career office and asking for opportunities and seeing like who's hiring. I've done freelance work, I think the biggest, not the biggest, but the one, the event that I enjoyed doing the most during freelance was a wedding. And I was kind of bummed the when they didn't come to, exchange the video with me. I need to find a way to send the video file. I know there's a way to send the video file like through your phone straight to the phone where it's not glitchy. I need to figure it out again because I just told the lady, I said, well, she said she could meet up to get the video from me, and all I said was, you're gonna have to, it's not like I could just give you a DVD of the wedding. It's, I could put it on your phone. Like if you got your charger cord and hook up to my laptop, I could put it on your phone, or I could put it on a flash drive. But she never came around. Like it seemed like the flash drive kind of deterred her. I mean, I got my money for the work that I did, but I was just like, she never came to get the video, and I was really proud of that wedding video. I did a really great job capturing the moment, in my opinion. That was the first time I ever done something like that, and I thought I did a great job, and I wanted them to see it, and they never came to get their video. So but there wasn't really anything coming up, so he had recommended like this temp agency. So I went to work at a Chinese restaurant. It was called Wang's Chinese Kitchen. I went to work there, and I was, definitely not where I wanted to stay. I just kept telling myself, this is just the bridge to get you to where you need to go. You got things that need to be paid, and so anyway, I like they told the temp agency they didn't need me anymore. So I went back up to the school and I said, "Look, what about those opportunities you're talking about? Where can I apply? Who's hiring right now? Like, just to break into something more, and just, I don't want to sit on it. Like, it's not gonna come for you." He does send the like job postings and stuff like that to you, and everything. I think it's a lot nicer than me having to search for it, just having it sent to my email like that. So I appreciate all of that. And I'll be responding to it. I'll be replying to it, trying to see if I can get that position and everything. So something came up for a position at this company, and uh, I guess someone who used to go to the school had told him about it. And that's how, and then I got connected to him through email, and I sent a application. And I think within 2 weeks of being told that the Chinese restaurant didn't need me anymore, I got the job. And it's good. It's good. So yeah, I'm ready to retire from food delivery. Honestly, I am. I so am. Ready to start this job. And I'm excited about it. It's definitely something that I've never done before, completely different. And yeah, completely different. So I'm looking forward to it. And not only that, I could do more financially than I could before, as long as I be even better with it. But I've been doing a great job. I know I have. I've been doing a great job. Very proud, in spite of everything. Make the best decisions that I can, and you gotta hope for the best. Life is fluid. So I went to this open mic on Saturday, or 2 Saturdays ago. Since I didn't have that position at the Chinese restaurant, I was like, whoa, how am I gonna pay my rent? Because it's like, my sister kept telling me to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. So I was just like, okay, well, my friend said, when I told her that I lost the job, my friend Tanisha said, like, she said, oh, I'm sorry, or, looks like it's time for another job, expect greater. So that's just her overall attitude. I absolutely love it. And I love that that was her message, instead of like like, oh no, what are you gonna do, girl? You gotta have a job, blah blah blah. With all that worry and stuff. Do you have that? Do you know somebody that does that? Like when you tell them there's an issue, the first thing they go to being like, oh no, like they start telling you all the cons of what your situation is. So, with Tanisha, she tells, it's just positive. Look up, look up, look up. Love it. Absolutely love her for that. So, so the position that I have is certainly greater than what I was doing. And it's more in line to the credentials that I have due to, attending the Ohio Media School. And if that makes it worth it and it makes me able to demand more money, then I would be getting paid like in a call center or in a warehouse. Yes, none of those things is true. Now I have to dress in business professional attire. That's of course it was like business casual at other places, and no one really enforced like business professional. But now they're telling me I can't wear my nose ring, and no one said that since I've worked at the Cheesecake Factory. So it's definitely a greater position. But I was like, if I had stayed at the other place, then at least I would have been able to pay my rent. Like, what am I going to do? So I would, Uber just wasn't like I said, it hasn't, it seems like it fell off probably since most people have majority of people have shaken off the whole COVID thing of being isolated. So, where a few years ago it was just like deliveries all the time. Now it's slowed up quite a bit. So I was just like, okay, this isn't going to be enough. This isn't going to work. So I I went to this open mic because I just needed fellowship because I was just feeling really depressed or depressed. I was feeling like doubtful. There we go. Not depressed. I was feeling doubtful about, instead of having faith that, if I still believe God blesses me, I have a relationship with God. So I talked to him about everything that I'm praying about, everything that I'm choosing to do. Because at the end of the day, I have, it's my choice. He's given me dominion over myself, you know. So, but I still talk and I still pray and I just, God knows my heart on the choices that I make. So, my friend China, she always tells me or reminds me, because I've known this growing up the whole time, um, pray that the Lord order your steps, because that scripture, the steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord. So, uh, so I was talking with China. We were having a long conversation, and she was just pretty much validating me. I'm still in that, like, am I good? Am I good? Could I be doing better? Like, are you proud of me? I'm still in that I need outside validation kick. Like, and she's like, "Girl, you're great. What are you talking about? Like, I'll be looking at you and your pictures and all the food you be eating, and I'm jealous. And girl, like, look at what you're able to do. Cause there's I'm not on YouTube like that unless I'm feeling chatty. And but just like in everybody else's life, like we go through some stuff now. It look good. It look good to y'all, but we go through some stuff to get it to work together, but we all going through the same stuff. But I appreciate her for that, because I'll be like, I'm good, I'm good. And she's like, yeah, girl, you're good. So I popped up at the open mic and I really didn't want to speak. I was just going to do fellowship. However, the ladies, they were expecting that because I've been attending there for a while, so they're familiar with me and they're really great people. And so she does call me up, and one lady was like, I think you should go ahead. Her, Dominique, she was sitting behind me. So, I go up there and I recite Faith Better Fly. And that poem, I say it so much because I'm trying to remind myself that I am Sabrina Faith and Faith better fly. Like, girl, what you doubting yourself for still? Ugh, like, knock it off. Knock it off. There's no need for any of that doubting drama. so, so I recited and then I sit back down and there's a few women, you know, in tears and they're just crying because, you know, they felt what I said and we all go through similar things, you know, what I was speaking on and you know, we all want to be encouraged. So even though I didn't want to go there and speak and I was really relying on them to help lift me up, I it appears that my word lifted them up and sparked something in me because it just started, you know, we were talking already, but the conversation completely like evolved. And um, you know, the lady was crying and uh you know, someone came up to me and said, I just want to bless you and put $40 in my hand. And I started crying. I was crying because I'm sitting there like, okay, how, you know, like, how am I going to, you know, pay my rent? You know, like, how am I going to make sure the car is caught up? And the, you know, the insurance and the electric bill, you know, gotta let the Wi-Fi go. But Layla's been getting great at putting in DVDs into the Xbox One. So I'm just, so she puts $40 in my hand. And I just was crying. And the women, they were just pouring into my spirit in such a positive way and you know you know reminding me to empower myself, to take care of myself, um my, you know, self-love and just understanding that, you know, when one door closes type thing another one opens. And someone just reminded me that, you know, I still think, I still think every day of course about Brandon. I can't not think about him. Like like he and Layla are like peanut butter and jelly in my thoughts. Like Layla and Brandon are a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They're just always here. I'm sure if I had more people, we would add more to the sandwich and it would just get really weird. Or we would just add or we just add a milk. If there was another person involved, like if I had that other kid, they'd be like the milk on the side. But Brandon and Layla will always be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich of thoughts in my head. I can't think of her and not think about her dad. And I think about her every day, which means I think about her dad every day. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing weird about that. Like, I don't like, has anyone ever made you feel weird because you're still thinking about an ex every day and they're like, oh, you shouldn't be thinking about that. You should be, shh, you shush all that. Okay. Look, no, we ain't doing that. No, it's just, it is what it is. I can't think, I can't think about her and not think about him and vice versa. So, you know, it still affects me, you know, and stuff like that. And I try not to let it. But the point that I guess I kind of lost my train of thought, but the point I'm making is that they were just encouraging me about the situation because I still talk about it. You know, that's my therapy for it. I just haven't talked about it on the platform in a while because, like I said, them 15 weeks of being pregnant really threw me. Like, and kind of helped me to become clear on a lot of things about myself and what I want from my life. And definitely not to play with God or like my body. Like I really feel like I played with God on that one, on that one. I keep going back to it. But those ladies were pouring into me. They even gave me their phone numbers and said to keep in contact with them. And that's what I was getting at with this, what this lady has said to me. Anyway, They reminded me that nothing I've been through will be wasted. That the experience that I had in my marriage, it's just like any experience in life, and you come out of it, changed, and pretty much I'm using my voice to express that, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't gone through what I went through. That thing just reminded me of that. And she was telling me, your voice is more than a cry for help. And I said, oh man, thank you. Thank you. She was like, your voice is more than that. You good. She was like, you're powerful. You're powerful. Your voice is more than a cry for help. You are powerful. Um, so I did reach out to some of the ladies, and they were keeping in touch with me. And I kept getting like financial blessings. And it's kind of like the first time that I've witnessed in real life when pastor, I still go to church, and pastor will pray and be like, there's going to be a financial breakthrough in your life. And that it really was happening that way. Like someone had I told them that, about my car. I was like, I got to get it caught up. And this was like a month ago, and they gave me $300 and said, go put this on your car. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay. And I did. I put that straight on my car. At least that's one thing about me, that some people are nervous about. If you give me something and you're like, go handle business, I'm gonna go handle business. Like, I'm not about to play around. Okay. Like how some people, like, they'd be like, oh, I'm hungry. That's why a lot of people don't like to give money to panhandlers or like some homeless people, because, that you're afraid that they're going to use it to buy drugs or do something inappropriate instead of actually going to get the food. I tried that one time with a homeless guy. It was like I promise you, like less than an hour before my birthday. And this homeless guy said he wanted something to eat. We went through the drive-through of McDonald's, and I got him like a hamburger or a cheeseburger. And he complained I think he said he wanted a McChicken or something. And I'm either that or a McDouble, whatever sandwich I had, he wanted something different. And I said, wait a second, what? Like, not only did I just make sure that you had something to eat, but you gonna sit there and get upset that it wasn't what you wanted and try to give me, like, what? I just took the sandwich. I did. I kept the sandwich. I was like, bro. But yeah, just handed me $300, said go take care of your car. And I was like, okay. It's like, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So okay, so I don't start this new job, and again, I'm like, okay, I'm counting down the days. I'm like, wait a minute, rent's due. What am I gonna do? And I'm like, but if God gave me this blessing, and I firmly believe it, I was like, then this rent money is going to come in. It's going to be figured out. Like I've had, I figured out all the time. It's going to be figured out. There's no other way. Cause no, there's no other way. There's no other way. And I was just like, no, the eviction process, and I'm looking up all the facts and everything like that, because I'm like, goodness, it's getting down to the wire. And then I got invited out to lunch, and this friend of mine, and like, she's such a nice person. She goes through a lot. When she was telling me her story, she goes through a lot. But she decided to treat me, to lunch. And when we were at lunch, I met her son. And, again, like helping, she was helping me brainstorm some job ideas. But she was like, she wanted to help me too. And I said, I can't. I was like, let me just see how much money I can make up until a week from now, and then I can tell you where I stand, so it won't be so much, because I didn't have like any of the amount of rent. And I was like, I can't, like, let me see what I can make between now, because it was like what, 8 days. I pulled miracles, honey. I pulled Miracles whipping it in my car to get the money to pay my bills. So I was like, look, I got 8 days, 7 days. Let me see what I could do first, and then I'll let you know. And you can see if that's something that you can do. And she was like, no, don't do that, because you've been asking God for help, and then when the help come, you're gonna turn it away. You're gonna turn God away from what you've been asking for. And I was like, oh, but what? I was speechless. So she gave me money too. Now, and it wasn't a little bit either. And I'm like, okay, so I was at a dilemma. I was at a crossroads, and I know this choice is gonna sound funky, but bear with me. I know it's gonna sound funky. So she gave me some money. Of course, it wasn't the whole amount, and I was thinking, I was like, I really don't believe that I'm going to be able to do Uber and catch up to this amount. And because I was like, the whole amount, with the way the climate is with delivery orders, I was like, I really don't see how this is going to work. So I did get the money order. I went straight inside the bank and I got the money order for the rent. So I was like, okay, I got the money order for the amount that she gave me. Let me just say it, like, instead of beating around the bush, she gave me $200, and she said she didn't want it back, and I said okay, but I feel like I gotta, like, pay it forward, like that's just, like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, okay, I gotta make a decision, because to me, if you're in a bind and you're like, I only got so much money, rent or my car. And I was like, okay, I have this new job, I have to get to work, I have to be able to get around to see my daughter, I have to be able to move around. I have an opportunity to own the car where I will never own this apartment. If one of them got to go, to me it was the apartment. So I think the following day I went back to the bank and I went ahead and I got the cash back for the money order, and I decided to put it on my car. I was like, if it comes down to it, I need my car. I need my car. And I know it's like, what, the apartment? No, I need to be able to get around. As long as I can get around and make money, I'm gonna have a house. Okay, I will have a house when the time comes. So I was like, no. So so back again. I don't have any money towards rent. At least I was $200 closer before. So I think that was the week that I had the job interview on Monday, and I was like, am I gonna get the job? Am I gonna get the job? Jordan's like, you're gonna get the job. You're gonna get the job, Sabrina. Come on now. Like, he's like, girl, like, you always, like, what? So yeah, they called me about less than an hour after the interview and let me know that I had the position. And I was just like, and I know, I called Tanisha, and I told Tanisha, and she was like, see, she said, girl, they called you the same day. I was like, yes, they called me the same day. He said sometime this week. And then I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, I know he didn't just show me around this place and I don't have the job. Like, I know he didn't just do this to me. And so I shook his hand and I said, well, whatever the decision is, thank you. Thank you for your time. So I got the position. But then, like, I went to file taxes, and that's what I was hoping for. I was like, okay, I have an idea. I was like, maybe I could get a cash advance on taxes. I know it may not, like, hey, it's iffy, but it was worth a shot, damn it. I was like, look, I have to exhaust every option here. But whew. So, but I wasn't able to claim her as a dependent. And so I was like, oh man, I was like, I didn't like get angry or whatever. I was annoyed, but I was like, okay, well, what am I gonna do now? Like, I was like, I ain't have time to dwell on it, honey. I was like, what am I gonna do now? Um, so I was like, all right, my race. And look here. So one of the women that was in the group at the open mic, we still text each other. And she was one of them who was crying in the back, and um I talked to her and we both shared our stories. Very nice woman, like, and I was on the phone with her and I didn't even mean to talk to her that night. She had texted me and she said, I'd like to talk to you later. And then later came and I just remember she said later and I just said, hey, are you available? So I talked to her because, I was looking into everything, government programs like Impact, Urban League. Um, I mean, those are the two main ones. The PRC program. I was looking into a lot of stuff, but most of the like government rental assistance entities that can help with that, they usually don't want to step in until you're late, until you're behind. So it's like we really don't even want to take your application unless you're behind. Like we're not even really going to consider you. And because everyone is having, like it's an issue, it's a widespread issue, like people trying to pay their bills. It's hard to get into those programs to get help, or even to fill out an application. You have to have an appointment. You can't even fill out an application online for Impact. So I looked into those things, but I was like, this isn't like, I've been blessed not to have to rely on the government to like help me. Like I'm not on any assistance except that Layla does have their chip insurance. Thank goodness. But other than that, like I haven't had food stamps since I was like 18, 19 years old, or 19, 20. So I've been blessed. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, please, I don't really want to. I was like, I really don't want to have to go that route because I read, my leasing agreement. You know what I'm saying? And they say, look, it's a contract. I know what contracts do. They back you up. You sign that shit. And so, I was reading what it said and I was like, I was like, I really don't want to have to go through this eviction process and wonder where am I going to lay my head when I'm with my daughter? Like, absolutely not. I have not let that happen. I was like, was just praying like, God, please come through. So going back to it, Carla, she just said, I know this may sound strange because I'm not in your shoes, but don't worry. Your rent will be paid. Like, and I was like, okay. And like, I'm sitting in church. I'm sitting in prayer service. And before I even get there, I went down to the leasing office to talk to Miss Patsy because I'm like, Miss Patsy, I just want to know like what the process will be if I don't turn it in before the 10th, because the 10th is it and they start the legal proceedings. They don't play that. My friend China been late on her rent forever and her landlord ain't really like took no action. And matter of fact, they just congratulated her like the other day for getting caught up on her rent. But where I live, they don't play that. So I was like, can you just let me know what the process is? And I was like, I don't want to be ignorant and act like I don't know what's happening in my own life by not coming to ask, like, what am I going to face? And, I was like, my daughter has someplace to go, but, I'm not really sure, what this is going to mean or how long I'll have. She gave me the rundown, let me know, like, what eviction process, how it unfolds, and what it means for the future. And she said that if I moved out before the court date, they would dismiss the eviction, but it would still be on my record. And she said, us as an apartment complex, we wouldn't accept that here, not here. And I live in I live in a good spot. So so I said, okay. And she said, there's nobody you can borrow from or anything. Look, I've exhausted so many resources that it's like I can't necessarily go back there. And but I haven't burned the bridge. Like if I borrow, I pay back type. I just got good ass people in my life. My dad has been one of those heroes. Those and my dad is a hero. Like I like my dad. Like, I love my dad. He's come through. His wife be catching attitudes when my dad be talking about, I'm gonna need you to send her $500. And my dad's done that a few times, and I haven't had to pay my dad back. My dad has had my back, and I never thought he would like that. I'm so blessed. Like, my dad has come through for me. He has. And he can't even see, so he has to have his stepwife send me the money. But even though she be saying her stuff, she still got to send it because it's my dad's money. So my dad, but I know she was like, "Is there anyone you could borrow from?" And I'm like, "No." And she said, "Where do you live again?" And I told her my address, and she said, "Someone called asking about you wanting to help you pay your rent." And then she said the person's name, and I'm like, "No, like no." I'm like, "Really?" And she said, "You might want to try that. You might want to go there." And I'm like, and before I got to the leasing office, I was on the phone with Tanisha again, okay? And Tanisha, I call her prophetess because she be so prophetic with the way she talks. And I'm snapping because she's just that good, honey. So she was Tanisha before I got to leasing office. She said, we're gonna speak favor, the favor of God. Like, she was speak. I don't know. I can't remember her exact words, but she said, we're gonna speak God's favor over you, honey, up in the office and everywhere. Just that, something favor. And so I was like, wow. I was like, what? I was like, what? I think maybe she was trying to do it and not like tell me she was doing it. So I did send her a message, and I let her know the information because my landlord, she was like, I can't even confirm to her that you live here. And I told her, if you want to do a 3-way call and I can confirm the information for you that way. But she was like, you want to start there? So I told my sister, and Stacy was like, Sabrina, reach out. Come on. She was like, that woman wants to help you. Help her help you. And I was like, are you sure? Like, because I was like, Stacy, this isn't no little bit of money what my rent is. And it's not just my rent, but it was fees on top of that. So I needed over what do they call it? A G? And I'm like, Stacy, and she was like, girl, say something. So I did, and I text her. So I'm in prayer. I'm in prayer that night. And as I'm sitting there in prayer, I get a notification that I've been cash apped. She cash apped me. She cash apped me $1,100. And I'm just sitting there like, I was stunned to silence. I was just stunned. Just sitting there looking at the cross. Honey, I ain't even lying. I'm sitting in church looking at the cross. And I'm just like, wow. Wow. And at some point, I started hollering in praise and worship. I was just hollering. And I guess prayer service is typically quiet. So pastor and his right hand guy, they come in, they don't bother me, but I think they just wanted to make sure everything was okay, because prayer service is usually quiet. But I wasn't quiet that day. I had been I look I was like, there's got to be another. That shook that shook me. And I was just sitting there like, Lord, thank you, God. And I'm thinking the lady, and I'm just like, my best friend China was right about praying and asking God to, order your footsteps and direct our path. The steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord. And I tell you, if my steps wasn't directed into that open mic that night, I would have never positioned myself. And then not only that, if I would have never spoke, it was my gift, it was my talent, it was my voice that reached them in a way that they were moved to support me. They were moved to seek to bless my life. And I'm so grateful, and I'm just so stunned. Still, I mean, and I was trying to wait to the last minute, like trying to see what I could get through Uber. It wasn't coming together, and it came 3 days ahead of ahead of that. And I'm just like, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. Wow, like what what a blessing that was. What a blessing. And honey, I've never taken for granted a night that I've had in my home, because the fact that I'm here is nothing but the goodness of God, and working through me, and other people. I have not been here by myself. I have not been here by myself. People who love and care about me have helped me tremendously. And I just be like, God, I'm still here. Thank you, God, I'm still here. And it was just so nice, because the following evening we were at Layla's parent teacher conference, and she kept saying, mommy, I want mommy, mommy, I want mommy's house. And inside, we're in front of her teacher, her dad's on the other side. Inside, I'm just like, y'all don't know. Y'all just don't know. You just don't know. Like, you just don't know. I could take my daughter home in peace, and we could sleep in peace. Thank you, God. Yes, for another day of taking care of me. Like, thank you, Jesus. Oh, God. Because I was able to, of course, file my taxes, and thankfully, um, it worked out. However, I didn't get the advance, and I didn't find that out until the next day. But I was so I'm just I was just thankful, just so thankful. Oh goodness, just so thankful. That's all. I mean, I know I just want to make sure that I'm able to provide a place for me and my daughter to come and be together when we're together. That's really the only point that I do it now. I know about me, but really, all I want is just a place where me and my daughter can come, and I've been making it happen. I've been using my voice. I've been speaking up. I've been tapping shoulders like, hey, can you help me? Like, or just people just coming to me and saying, I just want to help you. I want to pour back into your life, like, without me even like asking. So I want to do something, or I want to do something like even more positive. Just even more positive. I want to help somebody like that one day. That truly blessed my life. I never saw that coming. I really didn't. And order my footsteps, Lord, please and thank you. Please order my footsteps. So that happened. And then I'm still going through my divorce. Well, no. Okay. The divorce happened already. It's just talking about Layla really at this point. Oh, and as his attorney puts it, a minor property issue that I don't find to be minor. I don't think anything should be taken that casually, like, oh, this minor. No, it's not minor to me. It's another decision that has to be made, and I just, like, we need to talk about this, Mr. Brushing it off, because, yeah. Anyway, I want to think about something else other than the hearings and the lawyers that get on my nerves. Just want to take your money and go back to their neighborhoods. you know. So I'm just like over it, you know. I just don't want to have it to think about. I don't want to have, when I think divorce, I want to think, oh, I just want to think, oh, we settled that. Okay. You know, like that's how I want to be now. I don't want that to be like, oh, it's not settled. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. The lawyer, the next hearing, is my point being, gotten across, like more tension between Brandon and I, and stuff like that. And we don't even live in the same house. Like, bro, isn't, so I just don't want that to think about. I just want it like divorce. Oh, we already took care of that, and just move on with the next thought. That's really where I'm at right now. Um, Hopefully we could talk about that, because I thought that was what the lawyers were supposed to be doing, but it don't even seem like the lawyers like talk to each other like that, except maybe the day before or the day of, if they even speak. If they, I don't even know if they talk anymore. Like, I was like, bro, I was like, nothing has been done in the 4 months since we've had a conference. In the 4 months, we could have went ahead, discussed some things, and then by the time we got in front of the judge again, been like, okay, so this is what we came up with. That's like let's just, I don't want it to think about. I just want to move on from that thought. And so what was it? I wanted to throw Layla a birthday party. I'm still, well, no, I'm still throwing her a birthday party. It's uh just different than, I think I'm gonna do it here at the house. I was gonna take her out to this trampoline park, but um I think I'd rather do something more intimate. uh Excuse me. Do it right here at the house, and have some friends over. She told me what she wanted, so and it didn't include going to the trampoline park, so I could provide that here at the house, and we could have a good old time. All the kids like to just run around in here anyway. So, but at first I was thinking of doing, something at that trampoline park, and um, you know, I just wanted her to, have people there, because I've gotten to know some people and I made some friends, but I'm still really like a, a loner. I'm still a loner still, even though I know more people than I did a few years ago. So I was thinking, was wanting to include her dad, because as she gets older, say she wants to throw a party. I don't want her being like, oh, mom can come this time, but dad and his girlfriend can't come because mom's gonna be there. I just, it, like, if he wants to be there, I just wanted to tell him. And I was thinking we could do it, during his weekend, so his mom could come, and his aunt. And I was I I wasn't like thinking about this at all, but he said that conversations needed to be had between, like, with Shaiwanda and his mom. And I was like, huh? Like, I was like, talk. Like, I was just like, talk. I'm still like that. uh it's just, to me, if a talk happens, it'll just happen naturally, you know if it's supposed to. But when I thought about it, it made me hesitant, and I was just like, I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't know about that. I was like, and I don't even know how he meant it. And I don't know if that's something that they want, or if that's just something that he said that he thinks needs to happen. You know, I don't know, but I certainly don't feel as though I owe anyone anything. That's just me personally. But same thing could be said on their end. They could feel like we don't owe you shit. So, but I ended up writing a letter because my sister, she, her advice, like, gets on my nerves when we ain't on the same page. I'm like, I don't ever want to talk to her. And I was like, I don't know about speaking to his mom about anything other than Layla. You know, uh, that's just, I don't have a comfort level to talk about anything other than Layla. And I was like, right now, which is interesting because she texted me recently and she said, um, just so I know that if I need her, she's still here for me. And I do greatly appreciate that. It's just, I don't want to need her where her son is concerned. Like if it was something completely off topic from her son and it was really like like I needed someone on something completely irrelevant to Brandon, then yeah. But I don't I would think about taking her up on her offer anyway. But I don't want to. I don't believe it's appropriate to need her in this instance. It hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out. So, but I just it's just I know I say things and I speak the truth of what I believe at that point. So I don't really want to go. I don't. What I said when I said it. So I don't know what kind of conversation we could have other than, if Layla needs something, you know, I think that's best. So in the same regard, I do want to say that just you never know with life. So so it's good not to shut people down. Like glad I didn't come at her with an attitude, like being like, well, I don't need you or something like that after you did blah 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 and I feel this way and that way. No, don't do that because there could come a day where I really need her. I really need her. And I need that highway to being able to call on her and really see if I can need her. You never know with life. So I definitely let her know that I appreciated it. Um, so then I but anyway, no, that happened after I did what I did. I just I wrote a letter and I sent it to Shawanda. I I don't know. I just like when he said communication and then I told him I said I think you and I need to have a conversation. We have not sat down and had a conversation in years. And I'm not talking about like I'm just talking about like and it could be with our lawyers if you want. What I meant by that was just iron out some details so I could be like divorce. Oh, we dealt with that. Like, cause my lawyer want to get paid if he's gonna do something like that for me and just popping up at these hearings. I just want it gone. Really, I do. It takes more people involved in you getting divorced than it does getting married. It seems. I'm like, I didn't need all these people's permission to get married. Why do I need all y'all's permission on how to handle our daughter? Mm. But anyhow, I wrote her a letter because I just felt that I don't want a face to face. I didn't know if that's what he meant. I mean, I'm not nervous, but I was like, I was trying. I was like, did he mean like all like? I don't think that's a good idea at all. Like, you mean on the phone? And I told him like, my number, but then I was like, wait a second, I don't know about a phone call either. So I was like, I'm not gonna send a text message because I don't know if she has my number or seen it, but I don't want that happening right now. Um, I don't know. I was like, what is the best way to try to initiate conversation? So I just decided to write her a letter. I mean, if Brandon said they're going to be together long term. My long term turned into being married to him throughout our long term. So their long term it don't even have to be marriage, it's just whatever. So yeah, just my sister said we needed to have mutual respect for Layla's sake. So I just decided to write the letter. And I never thought that I would be writing a letter to, should I say it? I was I was gonna say husband, but I don't mean in that sense. I meant, in paper. He's not my husband in spirit and in truth, is he? No, his spirit done went on somewhere. Mm. But yep, I wrote. Yeah, so hopefully things will simmer down. I just I just want it to be over. I just want it to be over. What is that? That Keisha Cole? The Cole song? I'm gonna have to listen to it. What is that called? Is it called I just want it to be over, maybe. But anyway, I was just feeling a little chatty. And hopefully soon I'll be back doing GH. If anyone's still watching. I know saying that in the beginning about the baby, and I just glossed over it, or I didn't gloss over it, I just moved on from it. I didn't stay on it long, but I know that there are a lot of beliefs out there about um, abortion. And I didn't really have any opinion about it. I didn't even think it mattered to me. Roe versus Wade and all those details about the divorce, the abortion fight, pro life, all that has been like background noise. It was never really in my face until just recently, to where I actually had to read what was Roe versus Wade and learn about it and what the overturning of the latest ruling in June had meant. And, even that I didn't even think about the fact that it costs money to do those type of procedures, or I never thought that I'd be in a position to even have that procedure because I couldn't even, for a long time, I could not get pregnant on my own. And it just was crazy. So, you know, like I said, I have my reasons and I talk to God about what I do. And that, don't take that as me saying, oh, no, I had free will to make my own choice. I just talked it over with him. I understand the principles of the Bible and that, you got to stand for what you do. You got to stand before him and him alone, which is why, you know, if, their opinions of like, whatever the opinions may be, I'm as long as I'm good with meeting my maker on the choice that I made and the choice that I believe is the best choice for me right now at this time in my life, I then hey, I'll stand before him on that. I never thought I'd be in that position, and I'm gonna think about it for the rest of my life. What would have been, and if I wouldn't have got scared, or if I would have just had the confidence that I could do it, or it would have been okay, or but I won't dwell on it. I won't, because first of all, that's being hard on myself, and then two, there's no going back. I'm here now, and just I have my reasons. I just don't believe it was the right time for me. And I really feel like I played with God on that. I really feel like I played with God. I really do. I played with God. I played with life. Sitting there thinking that it wasn't possible. Wow. But I'm very clear. Those 15 weeks definitely affected my life. Definitely. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. But I'm out of here. I've been talking for a really long time. And I appreciate anyone who has been listening. Like I said, I'm gonna read the comments going back. But when I be chatty, the flow of the comments can be distracting. And I just wanted to come on here and do what I do, uh, and be honest as I can about, you know, by myself. I don't know. It's helpful to me to come on here and to talk about what's really happening. Because whether I speak on it or I don't, it's happening. It's happening, you know. But I will end off by saying I'm grateful. I'm so grateful because it took a lot to get to this moment. It took a lot to get to this moment. And I'm just so thankful to be in it, to still be learning and growing, learning about myself and what I'm capable of, what others are capable of. And I did want to say I do appreciate Bear. I got my Bear with me, but I do appreciate Bear in the sense of like we don't talk about it. We're not dwelling on it. You know, like he expressed his disappointment. He did. More so not about the pregnancy, but that I didn't talk to him. You know, I just kind of I got well, it's not that simple, but I do kind of go hermit and push people away. And I pushed him away. And I was talking to everybody else really but him. I just didn't trust in him. You know, I didn't. But even in spite of all that, like we still have our friendship and we don't dwell on it. We haven't dwelled on it at all. Like he was like, I care about you. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that that we have a friendship. And I love his hugs. I love it there. I love those kisses too. I love those hugs and those kisses. I love it there. I sure do. But I definitely got to be more mindful of what I'm doing. Just wow. All right. Well, good night. Have a great weekend. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything, you know, no matter what, it's always working for your good. As long as you're working for your good too. You got to work for your good for it to work for your good. Hey, there's a Bible verse that they forgot to write in there, or they should have expanded upon it. But you got to work for your good in order for it to work out for your good. So I hope everyone's doing well. Uh, I am. I'm doing well. All things considering, I am doing very well. And I'm going to keep doing extraordinary. I'm doing extraordinary and I'm going to, I was about to say extraordinary. All right, good night. Night.